Okay, hello everyone. I'm Queenie Binti Panus. I'm a student, Bachelor of Environmental Health and Safety, and today I will present uh, one of the topic in book Environment Practical Report, the Sipitang District Flood Disaster Management Report for Episode 2, which occurred from 25 to 28 February 2026. This presentation will explain the flood situation, evacuation activity, health response, environmental health, environmental sanitation, water quality monitoring, vector control, and post-flood recovery activity in Sipitang district. Okay, this slide that show the profile of Sipitang district and the history of flood episode. Sipitang cover appropriate to 732 square kilometers with 3 mukims, include 158 village and a population around 40,500 people. And the graph show that flood episode increased from three cases in 2024 to six cases in 2025. This was 100% years over year increase and indicate a higher flood risk entering 2026. On 25th of February 2026, a rainfall alert was triggered in Sipitang. A total of 21 locality were affected, including Kampung Mestapulama and Kampung Sindumin. This flood also caused infrastructure problem that Jalan Naluyan Mestapulama was flooded, while a bridge at Sungai Mengalong and Sungai Kawang were damaged. This transportation interruption isolate some areas and require localized medical and search and rescue deployment. Okay, during the acute response, the CPRC room was activated on 25th of February 2026 to coordinate the emergency response. Several agencies worked together. JPAM was involved in search and rescue. The welfare department managed the evacuation center, and RELA assist with crowded and traffic control, and the municipal council supported logistics. And centralized coordination helps the response team deploy rapidly across the affected locality. Okay, three temporary evacuation center or pusat pemindahan sementara were used during the flood. That it at Dewan Minusapul, SK Padang Rampa, and SMK Padang Rampa. And from the slide, we can see how much a family stay at a victim from this accumulate at this three center evacuation center. The evacuation center were open in pairs, which help prevent overcrowding and allow public health team to prepare health screening service. For medical screening and disease surveillance, were carried out among the flood victims. A total of 109 victims with not infectious, 39 cases, infectious 60 cases, include the URTI, fever, and AGE. Okay, for PPS, environmental sanitation and food safety, they were continuously monitored at all three evacuation centers. Daily sanitary inspection were conducted in the mass catering area, and the outcome assures semi-factory compliance with no foodborne illness outbreak. So a food hygiene season was also conducted at SK Padang Rampa. 8 food handler receive education, and 4 prophylactic injection were administered. Daily monitoring for flies and rodent was also conducted with no infestation recorded. And for drinking water quality compliance, they are monitoring at the evacuation center. For the result, A free residual caloric was recorded between 0.52 and 1.11 part per million, while turbidity ranged from 0.99 to 3.69 NTU. The slide indicates that both parameters were fully compliant. Continuous chlorination and monitoring were important to maintain safe drinking water and prevent waterborne disease transmission in the evacuation center. For the vector control and dengue prevention, they were conducted during the acute pest and continue after the flood. At the evacuation center, 116 containers inspected and no Aedes positive container were found. One thermal fogging operation was carried out at Dewan Mini Sapul. And during the post-flood community pests, 269 premises were inspected and 856 containers were checked. Herbiciding using ABET also carried out at 74 premises. This activity were important to reduce mosquito breeding and the risk of dengue after the flood. Okay, the flood response also include psychological support and health education. A total of 220 psychological first aid handouts were distributed to support mental health resilience. 14 individual counseling sessions were conducted for affected victims, and 64 hygiene pamphlets were distributed to promote hand washing and proper sanitation. For post-flood monitoring and community recovery until week 4 from week 2. During week 2, the evacuation center were demobilized and victims returned home. And during week 3, community cleanup activity and vector-borne disease control continue. By week 4, extensive water sampling was conducted. 13 community well were tested and 3 parameter violations were detected, mainly involving turbidity. And localized advisory and remedial chlorination were then carried out as corrective action. And for discussion and key lessons learned about this flood, there are 3 important lessons from this flood response. First, pro-medical triage, allow minor health problem to be managed early and help avoid hospital admissions. Second, early community warning reduce exposure to rising floodwater and supported organized evacuation. And third, multi-agency cooperation was very important. That coordination between CPRC, JPAM, Pejabat Kesehatan, and other agencies supported rescue operation and public health activity. And for overall, the response recorded 0 mortality and no secondary outbreak. So this is a few photo from the episode 2 flood. This slide shows some of operational activity, include search and rescue, the time board evacuation, medical registration, and health screening at PPMS, and as well as a post-flood vector control and sanitation activity. So for the conclusion, effective disaster management require early warning, rapid evacuation, medical surveillance, environmental health control, and strong cooperation between agencies. The Sipitang response successfully protected an affected population with 0 mortality and no secondary outbreak reported. And thank you for your attention. That concludes my presentation.